Hey there guys, it's Paul from jonesgear.com, and this time around, let's see what this cheap DJI TELLO copycat can do, and if it's worth your money. First of all, the resemblance is uncanny to the original Rise TELLO, although this red drone is slightly bigger. Let's see what's in the box first. There's obviously the manual and 4 spare propellers. The drone itself, that has quite a nice design. Oh, I wonder where they got the idea from. Here are some prop guards and a controller that looks a lot like a DJI Spark one, with fake antennas of course, an USB charger, and the best thing, 2 batteries or 3, depending on the package you choose from GearBest. A nice advantage the drone has compared to TELLO is the moving camera, while TELLO has a fixed camera. There's a simple on and off button on top and a co-fight branding out of nowhere. The landing gear is made from rubber and at a first glance it seems to easily come off, but it's actually pretty resilient. The plastic it's made of is not bad either. At the bottom there are 2 circular holes that are probably supposed to imitate the bottom sensors of the TELLO, or give the impression it has sonar sensors. But that's actually not true, and it's understandable at the current price. If we compare the 2 batteries, we can notice the one on the copycat is actually bigger. Will this translate into longer flight times? Spoiler alert, it won't. That would be quite a surprise, as TELLO already can stay in the air for about 13 minutes. We'll see at the end how long this drone actually lasts for. Oh, and by the way, you can check my review on the TELLO over here. Funny enough, even the motors are the exact same size, and so are the props, although the design is a little bit different. Now to the controller. It's a very good thing they have painted symbols next to every button to show what it does. It's always such a hassle to go out in the field and try to remember what each button is for, or have to check the manual. Top left, there's the headless and return to home buttons, which will allow you to turn the drone towards you in selfie mode, while the controls will work as usual. It's great for beginners who don't want to worry about where the drone has to face. And it works great, unlike many drones that I have tested so far. Here at the top right you have a button to change between the 3 flying modes. You'll hear from 1 to 3 beeps, depending on how fast you want the drone to fly. I've been quite amazed by how fast this drone can fly in sport mode and how nimble it is. I really had a lot of fun with it and it was a total blast to fly. And the good part is that in normal mode, it's also great for beginners. Close to that is a flip button that, guess what, does flips. And it does them well. You can choose the direction the drone flips by moving the right stick where you want. When doing flips, the drone doesn't lose altitude and it has quite a lot of power to come back. If you combine the 3 beep sport mode with the flipping option, you're going to totally impress your friends with your drone piloting skills. That is, if you have friends. These 2 buttons are simply used for taking off and landing, and these with arrows next to them are for trimming the direction, in case the aircraft tends to fly away. If you want to see the live feed of the drone, you have to download the HTS UFO app and connect to the drone Wi-Fi. As you can see here, there's actually really not much lag at all, at least compared to others in my experience. It's very flyable in FPV even with Wi-Fi connection. You can also pilot it through the app itself, but I never really liked the controls, I must admit. Now, when it comes to camera performance, this is a 720p, but there's really no comparison with the TELLO. The camera is not stabilized and it's not so sharp either, but I really like the colors and the fact that it's quite wide angle and you can capture a lot of scenery with it. The drone can be successfully flown both inside and outside, and it provided to be quite stable. But of course, with no sensors, it will drift away if there's wind involved, and it's your job to adjust it. But that's just how you get used to flying, my dear. Speaking of which, I consider this to be a super nice beginner drone. The low-level speed is just perfect to learn how to fly it, and you can also go nuts in sport mode, which is perfect. And on top of all, you also have a camera to play around with. Not so bad for the money. By the way, also check the description for the price, because it always changes and I don't really know how much it costs currently while you're watching the video. You'll probably also find a coupon code down in the description if you want to buy it. I promise that at the end I'll tell you how long the battery lasted for. It was a total of 7.5 minutes and I consider I did quite a lot of flying in sport mode. The flight time is quite good in my opinion, especially considering you're getting additional batteries in the package. It's not even close to the 12 minutes of TELLO, but if you add up the time of all the batteries, you're getting way more than what the TELLO can do. I even dropped the drone a few times in water, but it had no problem going strong over and over again. I know it's inferior to the Tello, but it's also way cheaper for people on a very tight budget. And frankly, I think it's a very capable beginner drone. I did not have high expectations, but I would actually recommend this to a friend or kid who wants to have a lot of fun. It's definitely way more fun to pilot than the Tello, especially because it comes with an included controller and Tello can only be piloted through your phone. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon to see when I post new videos. I promise to make it worth it. See ya later, alligator!
See you later, alligator.